Now to the Blue Riband, the Bentley Australian Derby over 2,400 metres for the 3-year-olds. Another Group 1. And this mounting out is brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence. If you need advice, they're there to help. Castelvecchio carries the number 1 saddlecloth. James McDonald, Richard Litt.
Yeah, he's chomping on the bit, ready to go there. He's asserted his superiority, getting to 2,000 metres last time. He was ridden closer that day. Whether this is a tricky situation McDonald's in here, whether he tries to do a similar thing in a faster race here or bites the bullet and rides a bit quieter, that's why he's on board. He gives the impression 2,400 should be okay.
Well, I guess that's been the key with him, hasn't it? When he's been able to step up and trip, he's been able to position himself closer, therefore being able to reel off decent sectionals and no one can catch him. He has gradually, each run I've seen him at, just improve as far as get his back down, not be as fresh, tighten up through his midsection. But the other factor with him is he's put on a lot of condition as muscle definition and more muscle. So he's in a great vein of form, and he's also in a great deal of health the way that he looks today.
Number 2 is Shadow Hero. Josh Parr, Mark Newnham.
Yeah, he had too much to do after that slow start in a slowly run Rosehill Guineas, and I want to be forgiving. I still think he's much, much better on a dry track, even though he did win the Randwick Guineas on a soft 6. So, look, he'll give his all. He stays well. If he jumps better today, don't be surprised if he's closer than what you expect as well.
Prime to perfection. He's got a beautiful skin on him. He's got dapples going through over his hindquarters. And as we've said all the way through this campaign, he's definitely put on a lot more condition. So he'd taken just that little bit of time to get towards his peak fitness. Therefore, I feel that you're getting him at his absolute optimum today.
The Victoria Derby winner, number 3, Warning, Tommy Berry, Anthony Freedman.
Well, he's peaking on the right day. He's proven at this distance. He's been ridden quietly, just going through the motions of late. You'll see a more positive ride today, like he got in the Victoria Derby, and I'm tipping he's right in the finish here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's been probably the best thing about him, is that he could still go forward in this race, like you said, Ronnie. I think that's going to be his asset, being able to just be let bowl along, and we know that he stays the trip. He looks in great order, and he has done all the way through this campaign. He's been on top selection a number of times throughout this preparation, and today is no different. He looks in great order, and he should be able to run accordingly.
The New Zealand Derby winner, number 4, Sherwood Forest, Kerrin McAvoy, Tony Pike.
Well, the Rosehill Guineas wasn't his style of race, I don't think. This more pressure at 1.5 miles, like he got in the New Zealand Derby, where he got over the classier types just through sheer staying ability. So should improve here.
He has taken no improvement from that last start performance. He's just maintained his condition, and I think that that's a good sign, actually. Wouldn't want him taking too much more improvement. He's got a great coat on him. He's turned out in his best possible order. It's just whether you like him off his recent form.
Here's the Queenslander, number 5, Erik The E, Nashua Willow, rides for Stuart Kendrick.
Yeah, good form, in good form, winning 2 of his past 3. We know he stays really well. Hard to line up here, but I think the soft track's in his favour.
I haven't seen this galloper before, but looking at him for the first time with fresh eyes, he is a horse that carries quite a bit of condition naturally. He's got a great coat on him, as you would imagine, coming from Queensland, and he seems settled and relaxed, which is exactly how you want them before a 1.5 mile race.
Murray Baker's trying to win his 5th derby here in Sydney. Quick Thinker is the horse. He trains in partnership with Andrew Forsman. Opie Bosson with the ride.
Well, I think they'd be happy hearing these jockeys saying this track's really testing, really testing. These horses are really finding it tough, because that's what that's his best chance here. He backs up from last week where he was tough. He's a grinder, and that gives him a chance to measure up to the classier types here with these conditions.
I love this horse. He is just such a little street fighter. There's not a great deal of him. He's quite neat and compact, but what he has is a big heart and certainly a will to compete and win. He looks great. He's probably taken a bit of improvement actually from that last start performance, just as far as his coat has really cleaned up. He's really shining. He's got tremendous inner health, and you can see that he's nice and fresh and well. So he's going to give himself every opportunity to run up to that last start performance in the Tulloch.
7 is Zabrowski. Hugh Bowman rides for Team Hawks.
Come a long way in a short time, and probably outpointed by a Quick Thinker last week. And look, he's a place chance. Bowman sticks all the way through here.
I really feel that he's going to stay the 1.5 miles. It's just probably a question mark on this type of ground. He hasn't gone backwards at all from when we last saw him. He he's just maintained his condition, which is certainly what you want to see in this type of race. And he's obviously a horse I feel that we're going to see the best of later on, maybe in his next campaign, but can't knock him on this appearance. It's just, again, whether you like him off of that last start performance.
Aida's Chains of Honour, Robbie Dolan for Gerald Ryan.
Gets a much more aggressive ride today. Gerald's already told the stewards that, so he's in that firing line of those on-speed horses as well if he jumps. But his form guide says his two soft runs aren't his best runs, so I have to be against him.
He looks well enough. It's just whether you like him on his recent performances, and I would say that there's a couple more I would have promoted in front of him, but he has turned out well.
Skador number 9, Brenton Avdulla, Danny O'Brien.
There's a few smarties around want to tell you he's going to run a race here. He's on a back up from Bendigo, where he was good at 2200, but obviously there's much more depth here.
Looks very well, and I couldn't knock him on his appearance. I haven't seen him before, but he is a horse that presents well with good conditions.